What's going on, YouTube? We live in an automotive world dominated by compact SUVs, and one of the biggest names is the Honda CR-V. However, there's another competitor that gains sales traction each year, the Subaru Forester. It's been gradually eating into the big competitor's market share, and for 2025, it was completely redesigned. But does it deserve this extra attention over the also recently redesigned Honda CR-V? Well, let's go ahead and find out. So first off, let's discuss pricing for these two family SUVs. Starting with the popular CR-V, we have the fully loaded Sport Touring trim level. Honda doesn't really offer any options, so with destination and paint, it comes in at a touch over $42,000. Moving to the all-new Subi, its top trim is also called Touring, and similarly, it comes with everything standard. After destination, its grand total is around $700 less than the CR-V. By the way, if you want to get the best price from local dealerships and access to invoice pricing information for these two models or any vehicle, we have a tool on our website to do just that. It's a great resource for car shopping, so make sure to check the link in the description for more information. Now, if you're new to our comparisons, we do them in an objective way. We've done our best to weigh the points awarded throughout in major and minor categories. And towards the end of it, we will also discuss reliability and resale value information. But let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the exteriors, you'll see that both of these crossovers have premium appearances in their top trims. For the all-new Subaru, they've stretched the grille out this year to increase the aggressiveness. And both models finished their front ends in gloss black. We don't award points based on design preferences, but for lighting, we do have some differences. Both come with LED lighting on all trims, but only the Subaru has projector beam LEDs instead of reflector ones. Plus, it also has adaptive bending abilities. And furthermore, it's the only one that has LED fog lamps as well. Continuing to the sides, the Forester gains about an inch of overall length compared to the previous generation, but it isn't still quite as long as the CR-V. Let that be a hint regarding interior space later on. But for now, you'll find large 19-inch alloys on both the Forester and CR-V, and neither model offers color contrast roof options. Next up, we have the rears. You may have your own opinion regarding the designs, but as far as the features, you'll find the same set, with partially LED taillights, exposed exhaust outlets, and rear wipers. If you're looking to tow, the Forester will be the better choice, coming in at 1,500 pounds of capacity versus the CR-V's 1,000 pounds. Now moving on to some individual features, you'll find nice gloss black mirrors on both. They have heating, blind spot monitoring, and LED turn signals. But family SUVs need to be safe. And one of the really nice things about these two is that all four of your major active safety systems are included as standard equipment on all trims. Their warranties are also mostly the same as well, besides for Honda giving you 1 year of complimentary maintenance. It's been a tight race so far, and now it's time to compare the interiors. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Approaching both SUVs, they have smart entry systems with premium key fobs. Remote start is available on both, but only the Honda is including it on the key fob free for life. Both have sensors behind the door handles to unlock. And after opening up the doors, you're going to see spacious and surprisingly nice cabins in their high-end trim levels. Before we dig into the features, let's start with the seats. Honda gets a real black leather seat for the Sport Touring trim, and the Forester also gets a real leather seat with Alcantara suede accents. For seat adjustability, both come in the same with 10-way power adjustment and 2-way lumbar support. However, it's the Subi that has the advantage with seat climate, as it now includes seat ventilation for 2025. Unfortunately, that's something that the CR-V can't get on any trim level, but both of them do still include memory seat abilities. Now once inside the cabins, let's check out the major point category of material quality. In this regard, both have very solid cabins for this segment, with nice materials. They aren't the most premium for the segment, but overall feel is high quality, substantial, and not different enough from one another to award a point. After startup, you'll see a pretty big difference. Despite being all new, Subaru still has the traditional gauge cluster design, with a 4.2-inch display in the middle. The CR-V doesn't have a full digital display either, but it is including a larger 7-inch half-digital display with more customizability. Neither of them have the option of a head-up display. And moving back, they both have heated, leather-wrapped steering wheels along with rain-sensing wipers. Now it's time to evaluate another major interior section, storage. This is a big deal for many families, and in this regard, the CR-V pulls away with the lead. When conducting our signature Car Confections donut volume test, the CR-V holds over double the volume, 20 donuts compared to 9 in the new Forester. It also has a larger storage area in front of the shifter, in addition to both of them having wireless phone charging pads. Honda almost always has incredible storage solutions, and the CR-V is no exception, beating the still good Forester. Surprisingly, both still have traditional shifters, and when in reverse, you'll see a new feature for the Forester this year. That would be a 360-degree camera system, which is something Honda has still not added to any version of the CR-V. For climate, both have dual-zone automatic setups with physical buttons for the main temperature adjustment. But if you need to mess around with any of the extra controls in the Forester, the interface can be laggy when you first turn on the vehicle. And for audio, both have their respective upgraded audio systems. That means the Honda has a Bose and the Subaru a Harman Kardon sound system. Let's take a listen. Both have good audio quality that buyers in this segment will appreciate. However, they aren't different enough to score a point. What is worth scoring a point, though, is your in-car technology. Both are good, but in the CR-V, we have a 9-inch display for the top trim. And, not to be outdone, the all-new Forester adopts a large 11.7-inch display from other Subaru products. That's a whopping 26% more screen real estate. And as far as functionality, both have integrated navigation systems with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. As we wrap up the front of the cabins, both have auto-dimming mirrors. However, Honda has removed the home link ability unless you pay an extra $250 to add it back. And it also does not include the rear camera system that you get on the Forester Touring. Lastly, both have sunroofs to let air in, but it's the Forester with the panoramic style setup that's about twice as large as the CR-V's standard size. But compact SUVs are made for American families, so how are the back seats? Well, both are going to have impressive amounts of space. As a matter of fact, some of the best space you can get in the entire segment. The CR-V has about 3% more back legroom, and the Forester about 3% more headroom. Both of these aren't quite at the 5% threshold required to score a point. Now that that's out of the way, they also have quite a few features. Both give you 2 USB ports and rear vents, but only the Forester Touring has heated rear seats, again something unavailable on the CR-V. However, CR-V fights back with special 8-position reclining seats. While Forester does also have a reclining function, it doesn't go back nearly as far as the CR-V, which makes it less comfortable to take a long nap. Now let's see how much stuff you can bring along with you for the journey. Both have power tailgates with hands-free ability, and once they open up, you'll find a large 35% advantage in the CR-V behind the second row of seats. That advantage lessens with the seats folded down, but the Space King CR-V still can't be beaten with a 10% advantage as the maximum. Only the Forester has a spare tire. It is also only the Subaru that includes premium switches to easily fold the 60/40 split folding seats. But there are a number of differences when it comes to the driving experience, so let's go ahead and dive into that. As I just said, the experience behind the wheel is very different between these two. That begins with what's under the hood. The all-new Forester has a traditional 2.5-liter boxer for 2025. But half of the CR-V trims, including the Sport Hybrid, are hybrid exclusive. While the Forester will have a hybrid eventually, at the time of this video, we have no estimated on-sale date or detailed information about it. That means as far as performance in real life, the CR-V is significantly quicker when accelerating because of its additional 24 horsepower and 69 pound-feet of torque. Alright, there was a 60 mile an hour acceleration with the CR-V hybrid. Now, of course, as we discussed on the outside, this is the hybrid variant. More than half of the trim levels are going to be hybrid exclusive with this new generation. And honestly, that's a good thing. You get a lot of benefits by going for the hybrid model. One of them is that you have more power, 204 horsepower, 247 pound-feet of torque. Those are good power figures for this segment, and overall acceleration is quite nice, especially off the line. Alright, so there is our acceleration up to 60 miles per hour with the 2025 Subaru Forester. Now, we talked about, some powertrain specs and things like that in part 1 of this Forester review, but we do want to just remind you guys what we have on board. So this is going to continue on with a 2.5-liter boxer 4-cylinder engine. When it comes to transmissions, both are using either a CVT or an eCVT-like setup. They have similar performance and feels. But more importantly, let's talk about off-road capability. Here, the Forester pulls ahead with greater ground clearance, and while both have standard all-wheel drive, it's only the Forester that has a full-time all-wheel drive setup instead of part-time. This is part of what has long given the Forester its reputation for adventuring.
And it's not just part-time all-wheel drive setup, it is a full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive setup. So that's, of course, going to help you with your off-roading abilities in this model. So if you're one of those more adventurous type of people, you certainly will appreciate that here in the Forester.
This is going to be using a continuously variable transmission, as all Subarus do. If you choose this hybrid model, you have what is actually not an eCVT, but performs like an eCVT. So we try not to be overly technical with these reviews to confuse people. Just know that the overall performance of this transmission is very eCVT like that. Now let's talk about the ride quality. In this area, both impress and have better than average ride quality and very comfortable seats. I do also want to point out that while it's not a focus of any compact SUV, the Honda CR-V puts more of an emphasis on the driving experience. The steering, while still light, feels very precise, and its body roll is better managed than most others in the segment.
And now that we're speeding up to 55, I also want to talk about ride quality. I think that's a very important discussion when it comes to living with this vehicle for the past 7 days. Both Drew and I have been behind the wheel of it for quite some time, and as we go over some bumps there, I have to say, ride quality is really, really good in the CR-V. Even with the larger 19-inch alloy wheels, that's the largest wheel you can get in this model on the Sport Touring, still rides really good. These seats are also incredibly comfortable, and, when it comes to dynamics, I know we haven't quite touched on that just yet, but dynamically speaking, this has a little bit more athleticism than the average thing in this segment. I think Honda has done a really fantastic job of balancing that with the ride quality. Now let's go ahead and talk about the ride quality for this all-new Forester. Now, in this department, I have been nothing but impressed for this all-new model. The Forester always rode really nicely, and this all-new one very much feels like a Forester in that respect.
But that aside, how quiet are the cabins? Here at Car Confections, we take a sound level reading of every vehicle we test on the channel. Unfortunately, the Subaru's was taken at a press event in Montana, so it can't be scored officially. But here are the readings for your reference.
Let's go ahead and see how quiet it is. .8 decibels is where we've settled in at. .6 decibels is our official Car Confections sound level reading.
Now, as you might expect from the hybrid CR-V, you will get a fuel economy advantage. This hybrid system delivers great MPGs of 37 combined with all-wheel drive, which is 8 better than the Subaru. That will definitely add up over the lifetime of owning the vehicle. But keep in mind, the Forester will get a hybrid eventually. In our reviews and comparisons, we are also adding in reliability and resale information to give you a better picture of the overall value beyond just the original MSRP. Beginning with reliability, we developed the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. Subaru ranks 12 slots above the industry average for all brands in reliability, awarding it 1.2 points. While Honda is also one of the top brands at 15 slots above average, giving it 1.5 points. We also put Mason's economics degree to work to develop a detailed predicted resale value tool. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, both brands are incredible. Honda has the biggest predicted resale value of 64.8%, and Subaru the third best at 63%. Resale value is obviously important because it determines how much money you get back, but we can't forget about the price difference at the original purchase. The CR-V costs $760 more than the Forester, which according to our scale gives the Forester a half point. I want to emphasize that if money, reliability, or resale value matter less to you personally, feel free to disregard these points. And if you'd like to check out all our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head to carconfections.com/resale and /reliability. Buying a car is a big decision, and this is a great place to compare all the vehicle makes that you might be cross-shopping. So there you have it, another comparison in the books, and this one was extremely close, coming down to the wire. So with that being said, let's kind of recap here a little bit and talk about who should be your personal winner based on what's most important to you. So the Forester should probably be your selection if you're looking for those extra luxury features that are not available in the CR-V. Things like ventilated seats, a 360 camera, heated back seats, panoramic sunroof, kind of the bougie things you could say. Also, if you appreciate the extra off-road capability that Subaru is including, and if you want a gasoline option because the top trim of the CR-V is going to be hybrid exclusive.
Now, speaking of the CR-V, that should be your choice if you want the hybrid powertrain experience. It's more powerful and obviously gets better fuel economy. Of course, we can't wait for the new Subaru Forester Hybrid to come out, but it's not available yet. The space is also still better than the Forester. It's really the space king in the segment, and you have really impressive resale and reliability from the Honda brand as a whole. But we want to know which one of these two you're taking. Are you taking the Subaru Forester or are you taking the Honda CR-V? Let us know your thoughts down below. Also, if you're looking to buy either one of these SUVs or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this comparison. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button down below to help us make more of these comparison videos, and also for you to join in on our Car Confections family. We have a lot of fun that I'm sure you won't want to miss out on. If you're already part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.